Okay, so let's just jump right in. We're all taught that life is this incredibly complicated, messy thing. But what if that's not the full story? Today, we're going to unpack some hidden laws of simplicity that honestly could completely change how you look at, well, everything. I mean, just think about it for a second. Does your life feel complicated? You've got your career, relationships, trying to be happy, maybe make some money. It feels like you're trying to untangle this massive knotted up ball of string, doesn't it?
Well, here's the thing. That feeling is wrong. And I don't mean that in a bad way. The truth is, life itself can be surprisingly simple. The real problem is that our brains are kind of allergic to simple answers.
So what gives? Why do we do this to ourselves? It's something you could call the complexity delusion. We actively go looking for complicated solutions because, let's be real, simple answers feel kind of boring. They don't sell blockbuster books or revolutionary diet plans. But here's the kicker. The actual complexity, the thing that makes life hard, is the chase for complexity itself.
All right, so let's get into the first set of these simple laws. And they're a little weird, I'll admit. We'll call them the paradoxes of power, because they basically flip everything you think you know about effort and control completely upside down.
Let's start with this one. It's a total mind bender. The harder you try, the more you fail. Just think about that. Have you ever been lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying with all your might to fall asleep? What happens? You just get more awake. Or trying to force yourself to be happy at a party. It's like the more you desperately chase it, the faster it sprints in the other direction.
This whole idea has a name. It's called the reverse law. The more desperation you bring into a situation, the more you actually push away the very thing you want. You've seen this before, right? The person who's way too eager in a job interview or a little too needy in a new relationship, it just repels people. It's like trying to stay afloat but thrashing around in the water. All you do is sink faster. Now, this is not an excuse to be lazy. Not at all. The sweet spot is what you might call relaxed effort.
And that flows right into this next idea, the paradox of control. Look, you've got these two circles. The big one is your circle of concern. That's all the stuff you worry about, like traffic, what other people think, the final score of the game. The more you try to grab onto and control that stuff, the less control you actually have. The secret is to shrink your focus down to that smaller circle, your circle of influence. These are the only things you can actually do something about. You can't control the traffic, no way, but you can control what time you leave for work. You can't stop the waves from crashing, but you can sure learn how to surf them.
Okay, so we've talked about these paradoxes out in the world. Now, let's go internal. Let's pop the hood on our own brains, because there is a whole hidden operating system in there, running our lives on autopilot, and most of us don't even know it exists.
And this thing, it is an absolute powerhouse. Your brain only weighs about 3 pounds, but just sitting there thinking, it burns a whopping 20% of all the calories you consume in a day. That's insane. We are literally walking around with supercomputers between our ears.
And get this, every single night that supercomputer runs a secret cleanup crow. While you're in a deep sleep, your brain cells actually shrink down. This creates space for this cleaning fluid to flood in and wash out all the toxic gunk that built up from a day of thinking. It's literally a power wash for your mind. And that's exactly why you feel so sharp and clear after a really good night's sleep. But here is the catch, and this is a big one. Your brain is not designed to find the truth. Let me say that again. It is not a truth-seeking machine. It's a survival machine. Its job is to recognize patterns and make snap judgments to keep you safe. To do that, it uses all these mental shortcuts or biases. Think of it like a permanent Instagram filter slapped onto your vision that you can never ever turn off. It colors everything you see.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? You judge others by their actions, but yourself by your intentions. Oh man, we all do this. Someone else makes a mistake and we judge them for it. We make the same mistake and suddenly we have a whole story about our good intentions. Just knowing these filters exist is the first huge step to seeing the world a little more clearly.
All right, so we've peeked inside the brain, we've seen the weird paradoxes. Now what? Let's talk about the real rules of the game, the actionable stuff you can actually use to build a better and, yeah, a simpler life. First up, let's talk about the happiness trap. You see, our brains have this built-in happiness baseline, a sort of set point. And the crazy thing is, huge life events barely move it in the long run. You win the lottery? Awesome. 6 months later, studies show you're pretty much back to where you started. It's called the hedonic treadmill. You're just running and running, but staying in the same emotional place. This proves that happiness isn't a destination you can chase down. It's a side effect, a byproduct you get from living a meaningful life.
Next, there's a secret code that seems to be written into the fabric of the universe. It's the 80-20 rule, and once you see it, you start seeing it everywhere. The idea is simple. A tiny fraction of your inputs, about 20%, is responsible for the vast majority of your results, about 80%. I mean, think about your closet. You probably wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. The life hack here is to figure out what that vital 20% is in your work, your health, your relationships, and pour all your energy right there.
So how do you actually apply that? It's all about your habits. Every single habit you have, good or bad, runs on this simple 3-step program: a cue, a routine, and a reward. And here's the secret sauce. You can't just delete a bad habit. Your brain won't let you. But what you can do is hijack the loop. You keep the same cue, you get the same reward, but you swap out that middle part, the routine, for something better. That's how you put nearly half of your life on a smarter autopilot.
Now, of all the simple laws we're talking about, this next one might just be the most powerful one of all. It's the compound effect. And it all starts with this tiny, almost insignificant number, just getting 1% better each day. That's it. It's so small you would barely notice it. It feels like you're doing basically nothing.
But here's where the magic happens. That 1%, it doesn't just add up. It compounds. It builds on itself, day after day after day. And over the course of a single year, that tiny, invisible effort makes you 37 times better. It's mind-blowing. This is how huge changes happen, not through some heroic act of willpower, but through tiny, smart choices repeated over and over. It's not about motivation. It's just math.
So, after all these paradoxes and brain secrets and life rules, what's the big takeaway? How do we tie it all together? Well, it all boils down to something really simple: a memorable 3-part cheat code.
And here it is. Number 1, accept what you can't control. And let's be honest, that's pretty much everything. Number 2, master what you can control, which is really just your actions and your reactions. And number 3, stack those tiny 1% daily improvements. That's it. That is the whole game. Everything else is just noise.
So look, now you know. You know how your own mind is wired, why happiness hides, and where your real power lies. Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself, one simple choice at a time. You've got the user manual now. And hey, if this explainer helped simplify things for you, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more. And I'd really love to read your biggest takeaway in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.